Alright, so another problem that we have with these older trucks is these ignition switch, or the ignition lock cylinder, is always doing something funny. It spins in the bore, and then when that happens the key won't line up, and you can see how it's loose in there. So while those other components are outside drying in the sun, I want to look at maybe doing something different with this and maybe fix it. So normally just lift out of there. Yep. When that happens, there's this pin. So we take and pull that pin out just a ways, and that cylinder just pops apart like that. Alright, so now what we're seeing is this is the part that's giving us the problem. See the looseness right there. Of course it just spins. So if you pull the key out, you gotta be careful with that. Deal with the key. Tumblers might pop out. Some of them get pretty loose. That's how much looseness there is. I'm going to try a couple different things to try and tighten that up. But I'm going to leave the key in so the key will keep it centered right there. And then I can also take a magic marker, paint marker here. And once I've got it centered, that way in case it's off or something, then we know that we've got to line it back up. So that's one of the first things we have to do there. Alright, now went ahead and got some packing tape and just wrapped around this just to make sure nothing shoots out of there. And then just wrap it to itself and pinch it down. Because if you try and wrap it around this is so greasy in here, it won't stick to it and it'll slide right off. But if you pinch it onto itself, it's a lot easier to use. Alright, so we're still lined up here. So what I want to do is I want to take a little chisel and I want to peck this and try to put some tension back on it. I'm going to go all the way around here where it's already pre-crimped. Now you can see I've crimped it about as much as I can right there, and it's not turning, and our key can come in and out. So I think that's going to help keep that from doing. Sometimes these things actually, you spin them all the way around, they just get to where they just spin. Sometimes you just have to change them, but a lot of times I'm finding that they're easier just to fix than anything. Looks like that's going to work out okay. Now it's time to get this back together. It goes in one way and it pops apart. Then you have to push it in like a spring. What I typically like to do is I'll spray a little bit of spray grease. Like this is the Kimball Midwest stuff that I like to use, penetrating grease. And it goes in as a spray, but then solidifies. And as you put it in, you'll know where the ignition is. You've got to put it in, and that pin's got to be pushed in, so you have to turn it until that pin gets pushed in flush, just like that. Because then when you turn it back to the off position, then the key will come out. That's where that has to go. And that slides in, so when you take this out, you have to turn the ignition to the on, push screw up inside there just to push that in, and you'll see many videos on this little pin. This video isn't really for that, it's for the purpose of kind of being able to tighten this unit up. I'm going to drop that other piece. And that, as you can tell, it goes right in here, so that when you pull your key out, as your key goes into the off position, what happens is this little contact, it actually grounds so that the buzzer comes off. That's what it does. So when you pull the key out, you can see this little square button in there. It actually falls down. When that falls down, these two contacts touch. One right inside there and this one here. And that's what turns your buzzer on. Key in the ignition buzzer. And that should just pop right into place and you're good. And I'll give it just a little bit more lube and get that put back in there. And there's a quick little tech tip for you.